Hello everyone and welcome to this edition of the Darktable from A to Z series. My name is Hal and today we're going to continue our discussion of masks. In the previous video we discussed generic mask concepts and drone masks. Today we're going to continue with parametric masks. Now drone masks are created by the user by drawing the mask directly on the image. On the other hand, parametric masks are generated automatically by darktable based on the parameters that you input in the masks tab here. Another difference is that drone masks are geometric shapes, like we saw circles, freehand, and so on. However, parametric masks are based on the color coordinates of the pixels. For instance, we could try to select all the yellow pixels in the image. To create a mask, you select one of the available channels and change the input parameters here to select pixels based on them. Now the available channels depend on the module. In particular, they are different for modules that act in display referred color space, lab or RGB, or in scene referred RGB color space. In the tone equalizer module, which is part of the scene referred workspace, we have gray channel, red, green, and blue channels, and luminance, chroma, and hue. If we were using a display referred module, if you choose the lab color space, you will have data channels for L, A, B, and C, and hue. In an RGB color space with a display referred module, you would have gray, RGB, hue, saturation, and lightness. By default, we have just one slider here, which is input, which is the one that works on the input data that the module receives. We can have one as well that works on the output data that the module produces prior to the blending. But to see that one, we have to go into the blending menu here and select show output channel, and then we have to. These sliders work the same for all channels. Let's go to the green channel because it's easier to see here. And how these work is that you've got 4 triangles, 2 filled on top and 2 empty on bottom. The area between the filled ones is where the mask is at 100%, and the area outside the empty ones is where it says 0, and here you have a gradual change. So you can think of it as a trapezoid where it goes from 0 to 1, continues to go to 1 and goes back, drops back to 0. Now let's see the effect. We can just try to create a mask by see the display, and then I'm going to pull this one, both of them down, and as you can see, this is the area that's selected based on this input. Here we have 2 color pickers. The first one allows us to pick an area in the image, well, a pixel in the image, and it shows us where that pixel is on the sliders. So if we wanted to pick the areas with these values, it would help us by showing where those values are. So now if I push those here, that will be the bottom of my selection, the lowest value, and it should select everything from this upwards, as you can see. You can double click on it to reset it. The second pipette allows us to select an area and it automatically selects the limits based on that area. So if I select this area, it automatically created the selection for us, as you can see. You've got two ways to invert the channels. You either click on this button next to the channel to invert its polarity, which means that instead of selecting the range, it selects everything outside of the range. If we go back to this one and try again, now it's selected everything. If I toggle the polarity, it will select everything outside of the range. The other way is to click on this button here, which inverts the polarity of all the channels at the same time. If you'd like to see the effect of a slider, you can hover over the slider and press the M button. You can either press the M button again to disable it, or just move the mouse outside of the slider, and after a while it will go back to normal. You can as well press C on your keyboard to see the channel. So here you see where the green is on all of the image. It will help you with the selection. Notice that this is of course not just the green, complete green pixels. There's green in every single color in the image. You'd get the same with the other channels. The mask end result is a combination of all the parameters that you've entered in the channels. i.e., if you were selecting a single color, or you could try to select a single color, you'd have to enter masks in the RGB channels. Under the selection slider, there is a boost factor slider, and this allows the range of values targeted by the mask to be extended, as in taken above the 100%. And according to the manual, that could be useful sometimes in scene referred editing, where the luminance can go beyond 100% to target the highlights. Below that you have the Combine Masks drop-down menu, and it allows you to change how the combination of the channels is combined with the drone masks if you've already had drone masks. And you have exclusive, inclusive, exclusive and inverted, and inclusive and inverted. And below those you have the feathering guide, which works the same as with the drone masks. So you can refer to the video on drone masks if you don't know how they work. Now let's see how that would work in practice. Suppose I would like to select the green grass. I'm going to try to do that using the range color selector. I'll do the same for chroma, saturation and luminance, and let's see what the result is. That's not bad. Could try to fine-tune it, or actually what I would do in this case, because it's so easy, is that I would add a drone mask to just get rid of all of the extra selection that I don't need. And we'll talk about how to combine parametric and drone masks in the next video. That's it for this time. I hope that you found this video interesting. If you have any questions, remarks or corrections, please leave them in the comments below, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.